Welcome back to the final episode of Coffee with Cabinet. I'm your host, Courtney McKenna, and I'm here at Donkey Coffee with our co-chairs, Kristin and Jenn. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Happy to be here.
Doing great.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're super excited.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. So do you guys want to kind of tell me about your journey in the Schey so far?
Yeah, so both me and Jenn got it at the same time. We were fall semester freshmen, and so throughout that we kind of took on various leadership. We really tried to hit the ground running. It's funny, like looking back, me and Jenn sat at like every Monday night workshop together and like new hire training, and like now we're working like so closely like in our position. And originally we were just kind of like those only like Schey friends would like give each other like a nod, like hey, like that's where we sit, you know. But no, it's been really great. I mean, I was a director and Jenn was my VP, and then we ended up both running for co-chair, and luckily got it. And so it's just been a really great journey so far. I think it's really shaped the trajectory of our college career. We attribute so many of the opportunities that we both had to this program, so it's amazing to be able to be in a position where we can now like be giving back as leaders.
Yeah.
So my journey with the Schey kind of started in high school. So my DECA teacher actually was an OU alum, and he told me about the program. So coming here, it was the first thing I wanted to join. Little did I know what my journey would look like at that point, but right away I was really just looking to get involved. So I'm really passionate about public speaking, so I was able to speak at the 19th annual symposium, and that opened a ton of doors because we have a lot of leaders in the program that are really pulling people up that show that interest and passion. So I was able to get involved with Sales Cats, and like Kristin said, get involved with leadership as well, which led me to becoming co-chair today.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome. I know that Sales Cats actually just had their takeover, a couple weeks ago?
Yes, yeah, we were in Atlanta, so we got top 10.
Yeah, that's awesome. Go Schey. No? No, that's really sweet. How was Atlanta? Warm? Better than here?
It was a ton of fun. It's always such a blast being able to go on those trips and really get very close with an even smaller group of Schey leaders or Schey students.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So, what does like a day in the Schey kind of look like as a co-chair?
Yeah, so both me and Jenn actually work in the office. So we have like 10 office workers, I think, so far.
Just about. Yep.
And that can range from like VPs to directors, whatever. But basically, just like always being in the office, there's just always kind of something to do. And so whether that's us actually like working in the office or just like being around and getting things done, there's no like typical day in the Schey, but I'd say that that's basically me and Jenn's like landing place, is that if you're looking for us, we're probably in there. And so for us, it's a lot of just kind of like meetings, reaching out to VPs, having kind of constant contact with somebody at some point. We do goal checkoffs on Mondays, cabinet meetings. I'd say Mondays are like the biggest day for us because we have Monday night workshop, we have our CAC class. We're normally doing those goal checkoffs, and so I would say that it definitely can be busy, but it's been super great. Just kind of it's like a constant flow of work, but it makes it very manageable, and it's been a lot of fun really getting to know a lot of people on our team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, like Kristin said, we don't have any typical jobs besides, every Monday we're leading that CAC class. We're starting off the Monday night workshop, and we're doing the cabinet meetings the day before. But besides that, we're really just there to try to help fill any cracks where people need help. So, whether that be a director or a VP or E-staff or just anyone in the Schey is looking for some sort of help, some sort of support, some sort of guidance, Kristin and I are really just trying to be there to make sure everything goes smooth at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We're looking at a lot of proposals, we're helping plan events, but at the end of the day, we don't have our own goals. We're really just here to make sure everyone else has a successful time in the program.
Yeah, no, that's really neat. I know you guys kind of both touched on a little bit of like goals. Do you guys want to go over kind of like what the goals process is as like a co-chair? Because like as a director, it's completely different, right? I just like write the goal down, tell you this is what I'm doing, and then you're like, cool, like sweet. So what does it kind of look like as a co-chair? Excuse me.
So at the beginning of the semester, we basically sit down with all of our leadership team, and we kind of empower the divisions to create their own goals. And so obviously me and Jenn have like some guidance within that. We really want people to take ownership of those goals, considering they're going to be bound to hitting them. So we want to make sure that they're within the scope of the things that they want to be achieving. And so we try to encourage people to start out with that like long-term goal and then work their way back. So basically, because our goals are like bi-weekly, they're not these like monstrous crazy goals. They're more so like those stepping stones to make sure that we're continuously moving the organization forward and we're getting the things done that we're committing to get done.
Yeah.
And so from like a co-chair standpoint, me and Jenn are really just tasked with monitoring that, and really, I think that's the best way for us to get a pulse in the organization, see where we're at. You know, you go into like a goal check off, and if everybody's really hitting their goals, you're like, okay, we covered all of that, like what's this next step that we can be going towards, and it's a good indicator for me and Jenn of knowing when we can push more, when we like need to, you know, take a step back. So I've really enjoyed the goals. I think that it's what makes our organization different from so many other organizations, and why I've been able to be successful is because that like accountability of every 2 weeks we're, you know, checking in and seeing where we're at.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Do you have anything to add, Jenn? Or?
I would just say, so for us, for the goals aren't made just so we can check them off. You know, obviously it's great and we're super excited and everyone's super excited when we hit all of our goals, but when we sat down at the beginning of the semester, we're really trying to push everyone. So some of these goals are more difficult and honestly maybe a bit more of a stretch than they should have been looking back. But we do it because we want to make sure everyone's pushing forward. If we just had goals for the sake of checking them off, you know, nothing would really get done in the organization. Yeah. But what's great about the goals and what I've really enjoyed seeing is, you know, if someone like Tommy, who's director of outreach, has a goal to hit 2,000 calls or more, you know, there's really no set way where he has to hit that. So we're seeing directors do things like organize and host a call-a-thon to hit their goals, which we never would have expected, because every director has the ability to kind of take the bull by the horns and figure out, you know, how am I going to hit this goal, which has been super fun to see as well.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. So so I guess then, you know, kind of leading into like the goals, how do you guys feel? You guys kind of talked about these goals, they're this semester's goals, and how much ingenuity that kind of came with it. What are you guys most excited for next semester with goals? What are you guys like hoping to see from the CAC class?
Yeah, so I think kind of looking and reflecting back on like this semester, me and Jenn noticed just like some like little like nuggets that we could improve. So like spoiler alert, these are like things that are kind of just like within a conversation that we're having, but making sure that our goals are more metric driven. So we want to almost try to put a number on every goal so that it's concrete of whether you hit it or you didn't hit it. So for example, like the collaborations division, they're such a strong division. I think that they've had so much success because every single one of their goals has some type of like number associated with it, whether that be 2,000 calls or $6,000 or something like that. It's you can't say it's hit when it's not hit, and like not that like anybody does that, but I think it just really holds people accountable to that specific number. And then like Jenn said, it allows people to get creative on how you're going to hit that, because you absolutely have to hit that number. So I think we're trying to see where that's going to work. I mean, obviously there's certain divisions where like that makes more sense versus like other divisions where it doesn't, but really continuing those like that data, because that's only gonna like help us like in the future is if we have those concrete numbers. And then I would say that we now have such a great foundation. I think like this spring semester truly proved like how great like our CAC worked together and like their ability. And I think that going into the fall, and the fall is definitely our busier like season of Schey. But I think going into the fall, now us are like, okay, how can we like take it to like the next level? And so I'm really excited to see how those goals kind of shape that that semester.
Yeah, for sure.
I would just add on too, I'm really excited for next semester just to see the ownership that happens with the goals. So I'm coming into this semester, the goal setting process was a little bit more time consuming just because most of our directors haven't been in a leadership position in the Schey in the past. So just trying to explain to them, you know, the purpose of the goals, the process of setting goals. And so we've seen that some of the goals, you know, maybe they weren't as excited or passionate about, and this is a student organization. So, you know, a lot of these things are just extra. It's just what do we want to add to the program? So going into next semester, I'm really excited to see the goals that are set that are because people are so passionate and feel so strongly about things, because those are the goals that are going to get hit first. Those are the goals where people hit the ground running if it's something they're truly passionate about.
Yeah, almost like a thumbprint. Like, like it isn't necessarily like what, in general, you know, what is the organization? It's like the one thing that kind of puts that tack, like that mark of that one director.
Like what do you want to leave with the Schey? So,
yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. So, what are you guys gonna do then between now and the fall semester? What are you guys gonna do?
Yeah, so I actually have an internship. I'm gonna be out in San Francisco with one of our partners, Sumo Logic. So I will be doing sales for them. So I'm super excited. Never been west of Illinois, so it's gonna be quite the culture shock. But I'm hoping in a good way. But yeah, no, I mean, Jenn will tell you where she's going to be at, but we're going to be about 3 hours away call-wise, so it's going to be interesting setting up, like, meetings and stuff like that. I'm going to be, like, texting her, and she's going to be like, Kristin, like, it's literally midnight at my time. And I'm going to be like, what? It's like 8 o'clock. But, yeah, so it'll be kind of interesting how we communicate, but the cool thing is that we're both interning with, like, some of our VPs, so I feel like there'll just be constant Schey talk, which is what we're used to.
Yes. That's funny.
Yeah, so I'll be in Fort Myers, Florida, working with Gardner, another one of our partners. I am super excited. I'm going to be with Brody, so another VP, and then also Hannah, one of the directors. So, you know, I have no doubt that Schey will be talked about. And unfortunately for Brody, you know, I'm going to always be seeking him out if there's a question.
But yeah. Roadster, what are you doing today?
Especially recruitment, you just gotta.
Yeah, it's always recruitment season. But yeah, I'm super excited. You know, my experience last year is one of like 2 interns, and it was a much smaller company. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm one of like 150 interns.
Yeah.
And you know, I've always been really hesitant to go out of state because you know, I love Ohio and my whole family's here. As weird as it sounds, I do love Ohio. So I'm super excited just to really put myself out there, be in this organization with all these other interns because, you know, obviously there's always something you can learn from someone else. So I think it's going to be a great experience, minus the whole organizing calls with Kristin. We'll see how that works.
Everything besides that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And you guys will be in sunny areas.
Yep,
Nice
hopefully
and warm.
come home with a nice burn.
I don't think I'm gonna relate to that. Probably it's like only gonna be like 65 all summer, but like it's like sunny. So I can't complain.
Yeah, well, both you get beaches, so who cares?
Yeah,
exactly. For sure. So, well, thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate it, and I guess the only thing left to say is thank you for watching Coffee with Cabinet.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.